And the table will be wide, and the welcome will be wide, and the arms will open wide to gather us in, and our hearts will open wide to receive. And we will come as children who trust there is enough, and we will open our hands to the feast without shame.
And we will turn toward each other without fear. And we will give up our appetite for despair. And we will taste and know of delight. And we will become bread for a hungering world. And we will become drink for those who thirst. And the blessed will become the blessing, and everywhere will be the feast.
Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to First Parish Church of Groton. I'm Amy Grosso. My pronouns are she, her. I'm currently part of the Finance Committee, and I have been a member here since 2002. We are a community seeking to deepen spiritually, to take care of one another, and to be a blessing to the world. Unitarian Universalism is a faith for all, so bring all of who you are, all of your beliefs, identities, abilities, challenges, and gifts. Bring all of what you've been and all of what you've done. There is room here for all of it. Our congregation includes a wide variety of beliefs. We invite you to freely translate the language you hear today. If you are visiting for the first time today, whether here or in person or online, we're really glad that you found us. If you would like more information, email us at welcome@uugroton.org. Today's service is for all ages. We're not concerned about noise during the service and hope you won't be either. However, the service is audio broadcast several places downstairs if anyone needs to take a break. The soft pouches in each pew have quiet toys in them, and there are 2 nurseries with toys through the door by the high pulpit in the back, and you are welcome to take kids or yourself there as well. Regarding our COVID restrictions, there is a small mask required section in the back over here, parking lot side, for those who prefer to sit with other masked people. And please know we have a very effective air filtration system running. We are once again hosting virtual church gatherings on Zoom at 7 p.m. on Sunday evenings. All are welcome. If you need the link, email us at welcome@uugroton.org. A special thanks to Melissa Wood, who is filming this morning, and to the children's choir. Pat Fairchild and Suzanne Nelson are ushering today. They have large print lyric sheets and assisted listening devices. If you need anything during the service, they would be happy to help. I have several announcements. Please join us for our Black Lives Matter Vigil today and every Sunday at 11:30 on Main Street in front of the church. All are welcome to come to coffee hour in the vestry, which is the big room beneath us after the service. This evening at 7 p.m. is our second Trans Day of Remembrance Vigil here in the sanctuary. All are welcome and encouraged to come and invite friends and family. The workshop class is busy leading us on social justice and service projects, and they have some announcements.
This fall in RE, we decided to put together a bake sale fundraiser to be able to send money to support the people of Ukraine and those affected by Hurricane Ian in Florida. I am very happy to share that over the past 2 Sundays, we raised $535.25. That's $267 to support Ukraine, and the rest goes to support the people affected by Hurricane Ian in Florida. Thank you so much to everybody that bought and brought baked goods. We appreciate your support.
Yay, well done.
The religious education children have a new project. We are collecting new warm gloves, hats, socks, and hand warmers for the Fitchburg Homeless Program. Starting today, we will have collection buckets right beside the door to the vestry at the east wing door. We are hoping to collect 150 items. We are also raising money so the 120 unhoused people in the program each get a $10 gift certificate for the holidays. We welcome all donations. Please donate on the website or give donations to Cindy Primer or Cynthia Williams by December 12th. Thank you.
Thank you. So well done.
And I have one more. So that was just Michael Preston talking about our bake sale, and Abby Ketter and Sam Belknap talking about our fundraiser for Emily's contribution with the homeless Fitchburg program. And I just wanted to give a quick update as well about City Reach. So 3 of our youth and 2 of our more chaperones are at Carlisle today at their church sorting out all of those amazing clothing donations that you made. So thank you so much for that. I wanted to let you know that although the clothing donation has stopped as of yesterday, there might still be a little bit of room if there is any new underwear, all sizes, or socks, warm socks that you find. We're also still accepting some monetary donations for the City Reach program, and Michael Foster will be putting in an announcement in the NNO about some grocery items that are needed as well. One last thing, if anyone is available as a driver on December 2nd to drive a carload of items to Boston, that might be something that we're looking for as well too. So stay tuned in the NNO for that. Thank you.
Okay. The flowers today are given by Owen Schumann in gratitude for Lee and Aaliyah and the lovely, loving community they lead. And, yeah, go for it. Finally, week. So get ready for that. If you don't know what that is, it's gift tags on a tree, and we support several different shelters and local organizations providing holiday gifts for people in need, so be on the lookout for that. We've learned through the pandemic that our sanctuary is not this room or any place at all. Sanctuary is what we create together. Please come in and rest for a while. You're so welcome here. Please let's stand as able. Take a moment to wave to the camera, to say hi to the virtual congregation, and greet each other personally.
Good morning.
Good morning. You were staying from this thing all day.
Ready to go?
I wish the adults knew how to hold it.
Hi, everybody. Hello. This is Steve.
Hello, hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. We're so glad you're here. Hi, Naomi.
No ears today. No ears.
Owen.
We have pictures.
Roger. Yes. Owen. They were expecting
Please
a boy.
remain standing as able.
My mother's
And let's sing the opening hymn. If I had a hammer, the words are on the insert in your order of service.
Well, we got a bell. We got 3 bells, in fact, here at the beginning. Feel how the song brings the energy into your body and your aliveness. And invite that energy to be with you even as you settle, even as you feel how whole you are, how alive, how lucky, how we are held in this love that holds us all. So with each of these bells, I invite us to breathe in and to breathe out. And if attention to the breath isn't comfortable, then put your attention elsewhere. What else can you close or tighten and then open? Open to receive all that is here, all of it. This first bell, beloved, is for you. And thinking of those you love so dearly, this second bell is for them. And send the third out into our whole, beautiful, aching world. All right, Amy's going to introduce our chalice lighting.
If you are with us remotely, I invite you to get a candle or chalice and light it as we light our common chalice in the meeting house. The idea of the flaming chalice grew from the Unitarian Service Committee work during World War II and is a symbol of trust, courage, and support for one another through resistance to oppression and tyranny. Barbara Rich will light the chalice this morning.
So, two short reflections. The first one might help us deal with the coming holidays, unclench maybe. I'm calling it low speed. The river is in no hurry because it knows it will reach the sea. Let's take our instructions from the river, knowing we'll get to the sea in plenty of time. There, the waves are louder than our judgments, kinder than right or wrong, we or them. The sand dunes are quiet, without any shoulds or ought tos. And like the river, we'll reach the sea in plenty of time. So there was some research in 2012 that shows that people who identify themselves as grateful experience fewer aches and pains, and a bunch of studies revealed that gratitude results in a stronger immune system, better sleep, and even low blood pressure. And the social benefits are just as fantastic, ranging from empathy to less aggression. And then there's this. I'm calling it, objects in the mirror are larger than they appear. Back in 1563, the word gratitude entered our language. And since then, it often slips off our tongues without much attention. We say it blithely without really noticing. We say it in churches, synagogues, mosques, temples, in the backyard. And yet noticing gratitude, feeling gratitude, sharing, speaking it, writing it, whether it's for mushrooms or Legos or challenges or the beloved family, expressing gratitude is a heart-throbbing privilege. Feeling grateful for the chance to make amends, taking in fully the smile on a loved one's face, gazing into the eyes of a new friend, recognizing the extraordinary and the ordinary, Gratitude turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, turns a meal into a feast, turns a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Being grateful for being grateful. I'm lighting the chalice this morning for all of us.
Each Sunday morning, we light a peace candle to remind us that Ukraine is still at war, as are Myanmar, Libya, Syria, and others, and there is violence in so many places. On this Trans Day of Remembrance, we also light the peace candle in memory of all who have been lost to anti-trans violence. We light our peace candle to reaffirm our commitment to work for peace for all people. Abby will light the peace candle this morning. Please join us in singing Carolyn McDade's song, Spirit of Life, first in Spanish, translated by Reverend Lilia Cuervo and Aaron Barrios, and then in English.
Okay, so first let's say our words for gathering, and we'll do the hand motions together, and then you do the hand motions, okay? We are Unitarian, Universalists, with minds that think, hearts that love, and hands ready to help. Excellent. So this story does not have pictures, so you get to imagine it in your mind, and this way the grown-ups can see the pictures just as well as the kids.
Well, maybe not just as well.
Maybe not. Yeah. They sometimes have to practice imagination. We lose it as we get older. Okay, this is a story about bread and about a man named Jacob who was a baker. And it was written by a man named Noah Ben Shea, but I'm telling it a little bit differently because stories often change depending on who tells them. So, Jacob became known as a very wise and very good man, so wise and so good that I'm telling you the story about him today. And it was all because of something that he baked into his bread. So listen very carefully and see if you can guess what it was that Jacob baked into the bread. And if you already know the answer, wait till the end, okay?
As we have said, Jacob was a baker, and that meant he has to get up every single morning very early in the morning, when it's still dark out, even in the summer, even when it's super cold. So this story happens on one of those first cold days, kind of like this morning. You know how you walk out and you're like, whoa, okay, it's actually cold. So Jacob got up and got dressed in front of the wood stove, and it was still warm. And those kinds of days, Jacob would say to himself, "Ah, the heat is good. I am a lucky man."
And then Jacob would eat his breakfast, which was a piece of cheese and a slice of dark bread and a cup of coffee. And when he drank his coffee, he held a sugar cube between his teeth and drank the coffee through the sugar cube, and that made it sweet. And he would say to himself, you need to say it,
"Ah, bread and cheese and sweet coffee are good. I am a lucky man."
do you have any idea what he baked into his bread?
No. Anybody have any idea?
Gratefulness.
What a great idea. Gratefulness it could
Put
be.
love into bread, you could put gratefulness, you could put flour, I don't know. The moon was still out that morning, and his boots crunched on the snow. And all the other houses, all the lights were off, and all the doors were shut. It was very quiet and still. And when Jacob got to the bakery, he always stopped for a moment and looked up at the stars. And he would say to himself, "Ah, the morning is beautiful. I am a lucky man."
So once Jacob the baker got inside, he had to start a fire in the big bakery ovens, and then he would pause for a moment and warm his hands in front of the ovens, and then he would get out the flour and begin to mix up the first bread dough of the morning. Now, have any of you ever made bread? What goes in it?
Flour.
Flour. So slowly he added the flour and mixed the yeast with the warm water and added that and a pinch of salt, not too hot, not too cold, not too much, not too little, just enough until the bread dough was exactly right. So any idea what he baked into his bread?
Some love,
Sugar, love,
sweetness, love. Yeah. So the dough had to rise, of course. That's the thing with dough. You have to give it time to rise. So Jacob had some time to himself, and the bakery was warm and cozy, and as we say in Denmark, hygge, and the dough was rising, and all was quiet and still. And Jacob took a pencil from his apron pocket, and he started to write just all the little thoughts that came to him. I do this. I always have paper in my back pocket to write my little thoughts on. Thoughts about how happy he felt and how he had tea to drink and breakfast to eat and how lucky he was to be able to walk in the dark quiet of the early morning and look up at the stars, you know, those kinds of thoughts.
Anyway, he sometimes wrote them down on little pieces of paper that he also kept in his apron pocket. And after he'd written down a thought or two on the little bits of paper, he folded them up so no one could see what he had written, because Jacob was a kind of shy person, and he would be embarrassed if anyone knew that he wrote down his thoughts about stars, or the birds he'd seen, or how much he liked his new socks, or drinking coffee through sugar cubes. He usually just stuck the scraps of paper back in his apron pocket, or he pushed them out of the way under the scaler on one side of the counter when it came time to dump the huge bowl of dough out on the counter and shape it into loaves.
I think Lars knows what was in the bread.
I think so.
Yeah. So one day, on the day that this story takes place, a woman from the town came to the bakery and said, Jacob, I want some of your special bread." "What kind of bread do you mean?" Jacob asked.
All my bread is just ordinary, although I hope it tastes good. Jacob's bread actually was totally amazing, but, you know, even though everybody loved it, Jacob was still kind of a shy person. I mean, the kind of bread my neighbor bought yesterday that had this baked into it, and she pulled out...
What?
What?
A what? A
Coin.
coin.
Could have been.
Could have been. What do you
The
think?
little thoughts.
What are the little thoughts?
A little folded up scrap of paper. Did you write this? The woman asked Jacob. Jacob's cheeks burned from embarrassment, but it was true. He had written it, and Jacob was an honest kind of person, so he nodded yes. And this is what the note said.
The world has so much goodness in it when my heart is open to take it all in. How wise you must be, said the woman. All my life I've been looking for the thing that would make me feel satisfied and happy, and I have so many things in my house, and I'm always searching for more, but they don't make me feel any happier. When my neighbor showed me your little piece of paper and I read it, I realized I never stop and look around and see what a lucky woman I am already. And then the woman asked Jacob, would you bake more of your thoughts and feelings into your bread?
Jacob smiled and said, well, yeah, okay. And that's the story of how Jacob the baker became known as a very wise and good man because he was so full of thanks. Thanks for all the good stuff in his life. And because he helped the townspeople remember to be thankful every single time they ate some of the bread he baked for them, they were grateful for Jacob. So this story might have an echo later in today's service. I wonder what that might be. But that's the end. You can stay up here if you would like to hear our wonderful children's choir sing. About half of you are going to go sing. We're really looking forward to your songs. With 3 voices. That is brave and amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So if during our next part of prayers of gratitude, especially any of the younger people, but really anybody would like to come up, if you feel moved to light a candle as a prayer of gratitude, feel free to just come forward and do that while we're doing our prayers of gratitude here. So I'm going to invite us to settle, see if you can get, 5 or 10% more comfortable where you're sitting. Thank you, Amy. There are community members and loved ones who need our prayers and love today. Steve and Gail. Steve is home on hospice now. Ellen's young granddaughter, Molly, who's undergoing cancer treatment. Both Marcel and my daughter, Josie, have pneumonia, and we wish them a speedy recovery. And we're thinking, as we approach the yard site, the first anniversary of Karen Amos's death this coming Thursday, of her loved ones and family, especially Greg and Margot and Leo. We send our prayers to all for whom the grief of an empty seat will be present on Thanksgiving Day, as present as the smell of the food. And we send our prayers this holiday week to all whose grief is newer, to people struggling to overcome addictions, to people living with mental illness, to people facing social isolation. These words from a poem by Albert Rios called "When Giving is All We Have." One river gives its journey to the next. We give because somebody gave to us. We give because giving has changed us. We give because nobody gave to us. We give because giving could have changed us. Giving is first and every time, hand to hand, mine to yours. You gave me blue, I gave you yellow, and together we make green. You gave to me what you did not even have, and I gave to you what I had to give. And together we made a difference. Something greater from the difference. So as people come and light candles, breathe with me, beloveds. May a deep peace and tenderness be among us this morning. May a deep peace and tenderness rise up in us as we rest in this spacious grace, in this community that nourishes and changes and sustains us. 13th century theologian and mystic Meister Eckhart wrote that if the only prayer you ever said in your entire life is thank you, it would suffice. It would suffice. So our prayer this morning is this, to say thank you. Today we're going to take the time to name the people and things we are grateful for, including the ones we forget about sometimes. Clean hot water pouring out of faucets. The fact that we have enough to eat. If we have a warm house to live in, we have so much. And we're thankful that we have even more than that. We have shoes and music and the laughter of babies and the sound of Lars. We have smiles and kittens and birds and teachers we have loved. And we have church. And downstairs, we have Bob Burkhart's art. The art that our beautiful Bob, who sat over here on weekdays, made, painted, resurrected even though it was all damaged by water, resurrected in digital form and printed, and it's hanging downstairs. So I'm going to ring the chime, and I'm going to invite all of us to say out loud what we're grateful for. You can say a lot of things. You can say just a few. You can shout them out. You can say them quieter. We're not going to worry about speaking over other people. We're going to let the words overlap and fill the air of this sanctuary, fill the air of our virtual sanctuary. Say them out loud at home. fill it with the sound of our gratitude. I'm grateful I didn't fall on Leah. Children, candlelight, wheelchair ramps, palace lighters, music ministers, boards of trustees, coffee, vacation, connections, so much water, power, electricity. May our gratitude move us. May it ring in our heads all day. May we keep thinking of things we could have said and then just say them then. May it move us to deeper compassion. Amen. We're going to sing Call Down a Blessing. It's by Margaret Nelson, and I sing this song a lot. I love it. And because I send prayers in all directions, I actually expect blessings from all directions. So I'm going to invite you to call down a blessing, to call up a blessing, to call in a blessing, to call out a blessing. We just use all the prepositions or whatever those little things are called. Sean, you going to teach it to us? Yeah.
And I'm going to invite you to make up your own harmony to go along with this. Yeah, please.
So let's stand. I always forget to tell people to stand up. If you can, and you want to, please stand.
Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Joy before us, joy behind us, joy within us and around us. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Health before us, health behind us, health within us and around us. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Love before us, love behind us, love within us and around us. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Peace before us, peace behind us, peace within us and around us. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down. Call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down a blessing, call down.
Yes. Our generosity sustains this congregation and allows us to deepen spiritually, take care of each other, and be a blessing to the world. Today's offering will be to fund the Caring Committee's gas and grocery card ministry, which is one of the ways we are able to live out our mission. Carol Saracen and Ellen Allen are going to tell you a bit about the Caring Committee and the gas and grocery card ministry.
Good morning, I'm Carol Saracen, and I'm one of the 6 members of the Caring Committee coordinators. Let me share with you the reasons why I joined the Caring Committee and why I'm a big member. My husband Jerry and I have been going to First Parish for about a year, and I was a member of the choir, but I didn't know too many other people in the church. At that time, I was due for some major surgery, and Betty Ketty, where's Betty? She is. alerted the caring committee. On my return from the hospital, we received over a period of 2 weeks 6 delicious meals. And we met, more importantly, we met 6 wonderful people, members of the congregation who delivered the meals and stopped to chat. This has happened several times for me over the years. The caring committee is right there with cards, meals, and friendship. I joined the caring committee so that I can give back to this very caring church community. And through the years, they have taken such good care of me and my family. I love being a member of the caring committee because I love making new friends through what we do, and because giving back simply makes me feel useful and happy. Thank you for your time. Now Ellen will tell you about this ministry.
Good morning, can you hear me? Yes. My name is Ellen Allen, and I am a member of the Caring Committee. I'd like to say at this time there are 3 tri-chairs of the committee, which include Donna Nowak, who I think is with us today, yay, and Carol Saracen and myself. One of the essential elements of the Caring Committee is the gas and food ministry. It quietly takes place toward the end of every month. $25 gas and $25 food cards are mailed out by Cindy Premier towards the end of every month. It amounts to about $1,000 a month in cards, which is $12,000 a year. We support a range of families. I understood from Cindy that at one point, and still may have, 2 homeless families that we provide support to. One Zoom call I was on maybe about a year ago, perhaps less, in chatter before we got together in the Zoom meeting. A woman from the South mentioned that she was fortunately stocked enough that she had 2 more night meals of oatmeal left, and how thankful she was that she knew her $25 card for food purchases would be arriving within the next few days. So that is kind of an unsung hero, in my opinion, of what the Caring Committee does, that many of us didn't have a clue about until we got involved in the Caring Committee. Our gift card ministry does include providing gas and each $25, a $25 gas card and a $25 food card. And in most cases, both are sent out. No one is ever turned away, ever. The real need, unfortunately, in this bleak economy is that the number of needy are going to grow. And food is becoming more expensive, as we all know, and the gas is still priced higher than we've been used to in a number of years. So I am here to ask you to think about those that are not as fortunate as we are to put a turkey on the table and all the sides, perhaps 1 or 2 bottles of wine or something even more expensive. And how about we think about just eliminating one side, or one pie, or 1 bottle of wine, and take that money and support our brothers and sisters. Thank you.
The morning offering will be gratefully given and received. If you are writing a check, please put Care and Committee in the memo, or you can use the QR code on the back of your order of service. And the table will be wide, and the welcome will be wide. And the arms will open wide to gather us in, and our hearts will open wide to receive, and we will turn toward each other without fear. In the Thanksgiving Proclamation of 1863, President Lincoln decreed that the whole American people should set aside the last Thursday in November as a day to give thanks. He signed this proclamation not in a time of peace and well-being, but during the worst, most deadly days of the Civil War, with the country deeply and bitterly divided and the end of the war nowhere in sight. It's a good reminder that the purpose of Thanksgiving is to give thanks no matter what, to give thanks in the midst of everything, not just when things are good.
So today we share bread with each other to give thanks that we have bread to eat when so many in this world do not. We share bread to help us remember how much we need one another. We need to give and to receive, to offer and to take, to feed and to be fed. We remember the native peoples who inhabited this land long before the waves of immigration began. And we remember the story that so many of us learned when we were young of that very first Thanksgiving in 1621 between the Pilgrims, who are our spiritual ancestors, who came to this land in search of religious freedom, and the Wampanoag people who helped those newcomers survive the first winter. We know now how incomplete that story is, and how it leaves out the suffering and the oppression of the indigenous peoples which followed. We cannot change that history. It is ours. But we know now that freedom must be for all people. So we share bread as a symbol of our common yearning, our common dream that we can and someday will create a world where bread is broken, but human lives and spirits are not broken. So the bread we are sharing today is actually mini muffins. They were made by Lorraine and Jane and Nancy in loving memory of Sal Lombardi, who was our Thanksgiving muffin maker for years. We were singing the Muffin Man while we wrapped them yesterday. We wrapped them in Sal's beloved stretch-tight wrap, which he was an evangelist about, but was actually a complete nightmare. So I don't know why he loved stretch-tight wrap quite as much as he did, because it was quite a process. You will also discover, I just imagine Sal like laughing wherever he is as we messed up the rolls of stretch-tight wrap. You'll also discover that there is a little saying in there inspired by Jacob the baker. We didn't bake those into the bread, but they are included with the bread and also on the clementines. So we're going to say together our responsive reading, which is written in your order of service. And the reading helps remind us why we give each other bread to eat today. And in the reading, the children will ask the questions and the adults will answer them. So I need the children to come up here again so you can help ask these questions. And Lee will read with the adults and I will read with the children. So come on up here. You go to this side. I'll take that. Come on all the way up here. What you want to do. Okay. So I'm going to say the question and then you will repeat it nice and loud. Turn around and face your people. Okay, so the first question, we're going to say this all together, is why do we feed each other? Why
do we feed each other?
We feed each other because we are connected. We feed each other to remember that we need to both give and receive.
So now we're going to ask, what do we feed each other? Let's say it together. What do we feed each other?
We feed each other bread as a symbol of our care and compassion for each other. We feed each other bread as a symbol of our hope and determination that someday all people will have enough.
When do we feed each other?
We feed each other whenever we gather in community, when strangers become friends, and when we work together to be a blessing to the world.
How do we feed each other?
choosing love over fear. We feed each other by welcoming everyone to the table. So now that we've asked our questions and we've answered them, we're going to share bread in this way. First of all, we're going to actually make a big circle around the sanctuary. Not now, wait, hang on. We're just going to give the instructions and then do the instructions. So as we make our circle, we're going to sing this prayer song. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. So we make a big circle peacefully and quietly. And once we're in our circle, then we're going to sing this little song. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and thus we live. Oh, I don't know. There's lots of tunes for that. So we'll sing it lots of times, and Sean will tell us which tune. So while we're singing, some of our beautiful children will bring baskets of bread around to every person in the circle. And when baskets of bread come to you, please take 2, not 1, 2 pieces. One for you, and one for the person standing next to you. Because it's important that everybody takes something and gives something. All right? So we're going to feed ourselves and we're going to feed each other in this way. We're going to give it away, and feel free to walk around if you want. And if you want to give it to somebody else, if you want to give something away that somebody gave to you, right? The muffins in the big baskets are cinnamon, and they have wheat, egg, and soy lecithin in them. Okay? We also have chocolate muffins, which are both gluten-free and dairy-free, but they're not chocolate-free, so bonus. And those are in separate baskets. And who's going to have those? Zoe and Coraline? Zoe and Coraline will have also clementines. Thank you for that reminder, Zoe. So also clementines. So hopefully everyone will find something they can eat today. All right? So if the gluten comes by and that's not your thing, then feel free to pass. Then of course we have to keep track of, like, if you give away your gluten-free, you know, it gets a little, you might have to talk to people. Yeah, okay. All right, so you can unwrap and peel and eat yours here. You can wait. You know, some people have delayed gratification, others not so much. If walking and standing in a circle doesn't work for you today, for any old reason, because your body is not going to do it, because you've got a baby to hold, because something just hurts or you're just tired, please sit and rest. You are welcome to sing where you are. These beautiful children will bring bread to you. And if you remain seated, you are in circle of love. You are surrounded by our love, and you are at the middle. So feel free to do that. And make sure somebody gets Sean some bread today, okay? I think he's losing too much weight over here. Finally, it's important that we don't waste anything. So if there's anything left over, we're going to bring it downstairs to coffee hour. And if there's still leftovers, we'll hope people will take it home to share. Okay? So all right, we're going to make our circle around the sanctuary as we're able. And the kiddos are going to wait until they make a big circle. These grown-ups know how to do that, and they're going to sing.
blessing together. May the bread we have shared here together be healing for our hearts.
May the bread we have shared here together feed our hope.
May we help create a world where all people are nourished in body and in spirit.
And where one day we will all eat together the bread and clementines of peace.
And may that day come soon. Amen.
Amen.
We are connected by strong and sturdy threads of love.
Go in peace, beloveds. Be the blessing in this world. Amen.